For the past 10 something years, working for yourself, entrepreneurship, these things have been talked about a lot. And it seems like, we know it's not really true, but it seems like that's the only way to really get ahead is to build your own thing. And that's not completely true, but it's better than going and working for somebody else and having them, what they say, hand you a pink slip or say, hey, you got to get up out of here. Basically, you can't really get fired. You have no ceiling on what you can earn. The sky's the limit. When you working for somebody, the limit is the sky, as they say. So your boy tried to do that back in 2021, I believe. Me and a friend of mine, we started a business, and it was a staffing agency. And it went. We did a little something, but we ain't really, we ain't stay in business long. But we had to call it quits. But this is the story, all about how my life got turned upside down. Now, this is a story of how me and my friend started a business, how your boy was an entrepreneur for a little while. You suck! So like I said, back in 2021, I really just got tired of, working for folks. I still am, that ain't went nowhere. But, back then I was like I had just got fired from this job for something stupid. I'm not even gonna go into it. It was the dumbest thing. And I realized, man, this is gonna keep happening. If I keep working for folks, stuff like this can always happen. They can just tell you to leave whenever they want. So me and a good friend of mine, we used to work together years ago. We actually kind of teamed up, and I told him what I wanted to do. And he said, man, that's crazy. I've been wanting to do the exact same thing. Why don't we go into business together? I said, bet. And it was a staffing agency. If y'all don't know, staffing agency, temp agency, employment agency, whatever. It's different little things you can call them, same thing. Basically, you call them up. They got places that they can station you at. Typically it's like, manual labor or like blue collar work, warehouse work, working, construction, driving a forklift, stuff like that. But it can be also like office clerical work and things like that. So that's what we started. The name of our business was called Digital Workforce Pros. Now, I wanted to choose Digital Workforce, but they was already taken. So I put the pros at the end, So it all started off doing like resumes. I started doing resumes for people. And then that's when we kind of branched into the staffing agency side. So y'all remember around this time, people was complaining, companies was complaining nobody want to work, people was complaining they can't find a job and all that. So it was a real weird, hectic time for America, the world, I guess, but I'm American, so whatever. So this is how it was. My friend, he makes good money, right? So he was like the money guy. He was like the financier or whatever like that. And I was kind of like boots on the ground. Like I was the dude calling up companies. I had developed, I'm serious. It was kind of like, it was fun. It was fun pushing myself, like not knowing that I could do that, not knowing that I could get these contracts. And then I was like, man, I'm like a real business owner, but this is crazy. To anybody who knows anything about cold calling, right? You get so used to hearing no, like it's like I didn't prepare my second, like for somebody to say yes. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'd be like, this is how I would do it. I would call a company and say, hey, who do I need to speak to about becoming a vendor, right? And they would say, sometimes they would say a vendor of what? And I would say like staffing, employment, whatever. So eventually I got tired of that. So I just said, who do I talk about becoming a staffing vendor? That way they ask me for what? I'm trying to stop talking to you as much as I can and talk to who I need to talk to. So they would put me in touch with who I needed to talk to. So I would say, hey, my name is Alex at this company, DWP. Are you interested in, having us staff for you and all this stuff right here? Got used to hearing no, we're good, we don't need that, blah, blah. I remember the first time somebody said, yeah, I'd like to hear more. I caught same old thing. Hey, who would I talk about becoming a staffing vendor? Got me on the phone with them. Hey, my name is Alex, got a company, DWP. We're an employment agency here in such and such city. Wanted to see if you were interested in, if you needed some more workers, fill up some spots, we could be the company to do that, something along them lines. And he went, yeah, let me hear about it. And I went, what'd you say?
What'd you say, Nut Chuck?
He went, yeah, I want to hear more. I'm like, ain't nobody ever wanted to hear more, you know? So that's pretty much what I did. You know, I was trying to get contracts, and like I would go to the jobs and like walk around, and I would have questions prepared and things like that. And man, it was it was so fun, and it was so mind blowing to me because I never done nothing like that before. That's why I always say, try for something, shoot your shot, whatever it is. You never know how far you can get. You know what I'm saying? Because we're new, we thinking like, okay, we give like discounted rates and stuff like that. Sometimes a lot of times my partner, he would be a little overzealous and kind of like, you know, because this is how staff and agencies get paid. If I send you to work for $15 an hour, in order to make a profit, I'm probably going to want to make at least $25 to $28 off of you, right? So we are paying you $15 an hour, but then they're paying us $25 to $28 an hour, you know, each week or each month, however you want to bill it, right? And then we pay you because you work for us at this company, but you work through us, you know what I mean? So sometimes our markup will be a little too high, and they'd be like, yeah, shoot over a contract, let's look at it. And then they'd be like, well, it was nice talking to you, see you never. So we had to go back to the drawing board a bunch of times, and I remember when we finally got our first few contracts, I remember my boy was like, bro, what are you saying to these people? I'm like, man, I told him the same thing I'm telling them right now. I said, man, I'm just doing it. I'm just out here doing it. I'm doing it.
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
I'm just making it happen, you know, because I want to work for myself, and I'm tired of this mess, and you know, I'm just pushing myself. But man, I tell you, being a business owner, it ain't easy. And man, I tell you, man, when I look back, it was like it was something every day. Like I got stories about the people, because, okay, before I get into the stories, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Mostly our work was like blue collar work, warehouse work, stuff that you don't really need a lot of experience. You can have no experience and get a job. So with that comes a lot of flakes, a lot of people quitting. So I figured out, I said, you know what? I got to find a way to better vet these people, because I am those people. I am a blue collar guy, so I know how to spot a flake because I'm a flake. So I said, let me put my blue collar hat on. Let me take my business owner hat off, set it to the side, put back on my pleb working for somebody hat, and get into these people's minds. So with that came a lot of discrimination. And this is what I mean. When I would talk to people on the phone, if you sounded sleepy, like you just woke up, or you sounded uninterested, I just went, hey, I think I got the wrong number, and hung up, right? I'm not gonna lie, you might not like this, and I don't care who knows it. When it came to dealing with black folks, I know. No Kanishas, no Felicias, no Rondrell, no Requise, no Jamarquavius, no. I know you're mad. I know. I'm like, bruh, I got a business to run, man. I'm trying to make some money. No, you know what I'm saying? So I just didn't even bother with it. So that's what I would do to try to cut down on a lot of that. And I will say this too. When you own your own business and you're trying to make a profit because you don't want to work, you want your business to work, you want your business to be your income. As much as I hate how, you know, CEOs and people that they don't care about you, they don't care what you got going on, they'll fire you, they'll let you go. If you remember that joke that Bill Burr told, where he was like, you know, I'm a white guy and I got to stay away from putting on suits, because when I put on a suit, you know, I kind of feel that I kind of feel like I want to take over some shit. Like, once I became a business owner, I kind of became a little, I don't know, apathetic, unsympathetic, whatever. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. There was this chick who reached out to us about a job. I sent her the link to do the it was a remote business. We didn't have a location, so it was all remote. So I said, this is how you do your onboarding. Everything's cool, it's safe, blah blah, right? So I can see your progress, right? So when she would get halfway through, she stopped. And so I'm like, okay, all right, maybe she had something to do, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna let you live for now. So I hit up a couple hours later. I'm like, hey, everything all right? Like, the quicker we get you done, the quicker we can get you out to work. She goes, yeah, everything's okay, but I just got some bad news. I just found out my uncle got 6 months to live. And I remember being like, right. But you need a job though, right? What they got to do with you working? It's just your uncle. This ain't your child. What's going on? You need a job, don't it? And I remember I talked to my partner. He was like, man, what's up with old girl? Like, she kind of stopped. She got onboarded yet? And I went, man, she told me her uncle got 6 months to live or something. And he went, what they got to do with you? And I was like, thank you. Like, what does that got to do with you? Whether your uncle got 6 months to live, 6 minutes to live, you gonna still need a job, right? I started seeing myself becoming less, empathetic to people's problems, because like, man, I'm trying to make money, man. You know what I mean? So let's get into some of the characters, some of the business owners, businesses, and some of the people that we sent to work. So we actually partnered with a local home renovation place. I actually knew the guy. I didn't really know him, but me and my brother went to school with his daughter, and he said, hey, ain't you? And I went, yeah, whatever. Boy, when I tell you this dude was a cheapskate, boy, he didn't want to pay nothing. He wanted the hourly rate to be $10 an hour. I mean, he worked the shit out, folks, from what I hear. They working all day. I think they had to work Saturday too. And the thing about this dude, he was always running people off. Like, I heard he was kind of disrespectful. He would talk to people kind of like they were stupid, and they didn't really like that, so they would quit. And anybody who quit, he called them Slappy. He'd be like, hey, was Slappy coming back? What happened to Slappy? I'm like, everybody can't be damn Slappy, bro. You know that. I mean, and we had it set up to where you pay us through transfer. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to get down with the team. So I'm having to chase his ass all around town about a damn check. He would be like, hey, I'm up here eating lunch. Then I'd come up there and be like, hey, where the check at? And now I had to sit down and act like I want to talk to him. He's like, you're all right? You said, I'm like, I got shit to do. Give me the check so I can go. Then he finally take all day writing the check. And then I told him, I said, why don't you leave the check at your office and I can just come pick it up while you out working? He went, sounds good. So I'm like, all right, next time it's time to pick up the check, I'm like, hey, the check at the office? He went, nah, I'm over here eating lunch. I ain't got the check. The check is on me. I'm like, my brother, we discussed this. Why? Damn. So we eventually finally stopped working with him. But there was a guy that worked for him. He just got out of prison. This job didn't require no background check, nothing like that. So this dude, he was a cool guy, met him, he was a cool guy, but he just would not listen. I would say, bro, you have to log your hours on the app that I showed you to. Now you can do it after each day, or you can do it at the end of the week, but you got to do it before such and such date so you can get paid. He'd be like, yeah, I got it, man, I got it. I'm on it. So when payday comes, he only got a certain amount of hours. Well, we gonna pay you for what the hours in there. His girlfriend gonna call us, talking about where's my man's money? La, 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 what's going on? I'm like, first of all, whoa, where is your man at? He worked these hours, not you. We need to speak to him, right? So he's on the phone, me and my partner on the phone, he's on the phone, and she's in the background just like, you tell her to shut up, right? So I said, bro, I told you got to log your hours. And he said, yeah, man, you have been telling me. And then when she found out that was his fault, she was quiet, right? Because I guess she thought we were trying to rob him, like, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up doing an off-cycle payroll and paying him the rest. Like, from now on, bro, with the hours that's in there, That's what you getting paid. He went, I got it. He understood it. He got it then. Probably because his wife probably smacked the shit out. It made him, did you put your hours in? You know, and he ended up quitting, which like I said, everybody ended up quitting working with that dude. So we had this one chick, right? We ended up getting this warehouse contract. There was this one chick. She was so weird. I'm talking about, it was like something every day with her. You know what I mean? Now she ended up getting hired on actually. And I remember she told us, she said, she wrote me an email. She said, hey, I have this stalker. I've dealt with this in the past and I'm afraid and this and this and that. But don't worry, I've informed the FBI and everything should be fine. And me and my partner like, did you get that email that old girl? She's like, yeah, first of all, if you told the FBI what you telling them, I mean, I get you kind of have to tell us if something happened, we kind of know where you at or know what's going on. But if you told the FBI, you should be straight. Second off, how you just in contact with the FBI? Yeah, Agent Smith. Yeah, I got the stalker is back. Yeah, don't worry, bitch, we got him. Like, hey, no. She ended up telling the job the same thing. We kind of low key laughing. We like I said, we laughing. We know, we like because we know it's BS. And it was, man, it was something all the time. I remember we got this other warehouse, people used to quit all the time. We got this one chick, she went out there. She said, hey, I was trying to get a drink out the vending machine. I put a 20 in there. It kept all my change, it kept all my money and didn't give me a drink. She went, can y'all reimburse me? I'm like, first of all, who puts $20 damn to get a damn drink at the vending machine? Second of all, how do I know you put $20 in there? How do I know you ain't just trying to finesse $20? Third of all, you need to take that up with Buffalo Rock or whoever stocked the vending machine. No, you ain't getting no damn $20 damn. Go your ass back to work. Leave me alone. And I think the last story I'm gonna tell, that's at that same place with that chick that wanted $20. So we had this dude, right? He got a weird name, so I can't say his name. Let's say his name is Rondrell, right? Okay, let's say his name is Rondrell. So they sent us an email saying, hey, so you sent this dude named Rondrell out here? And we were like, yeah. He said, yeah, we asking around and nobody knows who he is. We're like, what? She's like, yeah, we asked the supervisor of that area, we asked, his coworkers. Everybody's like, we don't know who this is, right? This dude don't exist. And so we like, is he stealing time? Is he like clocking in and leaving and clocking out? Because they clocked in, he had to clock in there. He used their time clock or time sheet or whatever, and then they sent us the sheets and then we put it in, right? As opposed to the app or whatever we use. That's how they wanted to keep track of it, I guess. So we like, what's going on? So now I'm calling him on the phone. I'm like, hey, why does nobody out there know who you are, bro? Are you stealing time? I done accused this man of stealing time. He on the phone mad and said, man, what the fuck? No, bro, I'm out there every day working. Man, you can ask Sean, he the supervisor. You can ask this, you can ask whoever.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
Man, I'm out there working every day. I'm out there, man. Hell no, what's going on, bro? So I send them his driver's license picture. I'm like, this is him. You don't have nobody out there that looks like this, right? They go out there, they ask around again. They're like, no. We like, what the fuck is going on? So this dude's a thief, right? So we thinking like, damn, and we just paid him. Now we got to find a way to like get our money back, whatever. Come to find out, he introduced himself with his nickname. So let's say, okay, his name is Rondrell. Let's say his nickname is like, Scarface, right? So he goes, yeah, what up? My name's Scarface. I'm Scarface. So everybody's like, okay, that's Scarface, So nobody knows his real name. So they go, yeah, we talked to a few people and yeah, he told him his nickname. So I'm like, so he is going out there. He's like, yeah, they said he doing good, blah, blah, blah. And we like, Wait, huh? And that didn't even make sense. It's like, still, you don't you introduce yourself? Like, I guess because he didn't sign no paperwork with them, they don't know his name. I don't know, but I guess he didn't introduce himself like, hey, this is my name, but you can call me this. I don't know. I don't know, but all I do know is this. If I do decide to work for myself, it ain't gonna be nothing with employees. I'm cool on that. Was an experience. I mean, it was like it was something every day. Every day it was it was something, man. But I tell you, man, it was fun. And it was an experience. And I enjoyed it very much. So I ended up folding before I let y'all go. We didn't, like I said before, I don't think we had a very good business model. And my partner, he was the money man. So he felt he wasn't getting a quick enough return in the time that we were doing it. He said, look, man, he said, since we was 50-50 partners, I'm pulling out. He said, you can do, he said, I don't know your financial situation. If you want to continue it, go ahead, but I'm not putting any more money into it. So if you want to continue, go ahead. And I ain't had a bankroll to do that. So we just kind of had a few people on payroll, and we had a couple people getting hired on, so they were gonna get off our payroll, and a couple people quit, and before long, DWP was finito. It was a done data, as they say. But yeah, that was a good experience, man. Everybody should try it once. Try it, man, woman, whatever. Try it. Find something that you want to do. Try to work for yourself. That way you can know if you like it or not. If you want to continue to do it, and maybe, who knows? Maybe the first thing you do, you can take it all the way. But yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. Decided I want to make a video about it. Leave me a comment and tell me your story. Have you tried to own your own business? Do you own your own business? Just leave me a comment. I love to read them. Go on ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.